What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here. Today we're actually making our T20 International debut, and we're playing against a side that we've become very familiar with across all our career mode series, and that is Pakistan. I think out of the last 2 or 3 weeks we've taken on Pakistan in about three separate times. So hopefully that familiarity, is that what I'm trying to say, will help us out. It's helped us out there with a very first ball. So as I said, this is our T20 debut. I think we've made our debut in every other format now, and just going to look to go and I guess try and consolidate a little bit, even though consolidation probably isn't the thing that is needed at the moment. We probably need to go and keep accelerating. We're at that 100 mark that I like to be at around the 12 over period. So let's keep going and just try and post a really good total on the board. But today, I guess the main talking points that we will talk about, obviously, is T20 World Cup semi-finals. Obviously, I think it was... Oh, there's another 4. Beautiful. I love it. I think it was the Wednesday morning. So I think... Or maybe... No, Thursday morning. So yesterday morning. New Zealand took on England. And New Zealand not getting enough runs on the board there. And it is really disappointing, obviously, as a New Zealander myself, that we couldn't go and get over that final hurdle. I think England were just the better team on the day. Like, they were the team that showed up. And we just... I think we kind of went away a little bit from... Not our strategy, but I guess our tried and true. And obviously the spin bowling attack had worked really well for us throughout the tournament. And I think maybe for the first time this whole tournament we did misread the situation a little bit. And that's been something we have been really good at as well, is adapting to the different conditions that are around. But in saying that, this tournament, obviously the first big tournament that we do have a new captain, Kane Williamson. It's obviously... there's a lot of young players that were on this tour as well, with obviously recent retirements and injuries and all that stuff like that. Obviously no Brendan McCullum as well, as I did mention earlier. And I think the guys did really well. Obviously Kane Williamson really stepped up, both, you know, as a batsman and as a leader as well. I think he had a really good tournament captaincy-wise, and a lot of ex-players and former players have said that as well. So hopefully that can go and carry on in the near future, and we can continue to, you know, put up these big performances in these tournaments. I mean, obviously last year Brendan McCullum took us to our first World Cup final. We've gone to the T20 World Cup semi-final. Obviously couldn't quite get up there in the end. But England on the day, they were just better. Jason Roy, I think, hit about 70... What did he hit? What am I trying to do there? Trying to work everything across the leg side. I think Jason Roy hit 70-odd, 78 I believe from memory, and that really just took the game away from us completely. So it was always hard to come back from that, and I think we were a little bit short when it came to the runs as well. But, you know, at the end of the day, you can't really complain too much. They did have a very good run, and as I said, hopefully we can go and build on that. And that's what a lot of people are saying. There are a lot of positives that have come out of this tour, and I think the biggest one probably would be Ish Sodhi. I think he's really gone and obviously stood up and put his name forward. And a lot of people are saying now that Ish Sodhi probably should be New Zealand's #1 spinner, and I probably would agree with them. I'd have to say that I'm trying to think of the guy who plays... Mark Craig. I was thinking Nick Beard for some reason. Nick Beard's left arm spinner though. But I think Ish Sodhi is probably our #1 spinner in the country now. I think obviously Mark Craig has had his opportunities, he's had his chances, he hasn't really gone and delivered where required. So I think get him out, get Sodhi in, and then obviously you got Mitchell Santner, who is proving to be a very good all-rounder as well. And I think his bowling really took off as well in this tournament as well, because that was something that, you know, leading into it, I think he really was known probably more, you know, as a batsman who could go and obviously bowl a little bit. But I think in this tournament, he finished up, same with Sodhi, I think with 10 wickets from the 5 games that they did play. So I think they were up towards the top of the leading wicket takers of the tournament. So that's a very, very positive sign for New Zealand, because we aren't known, obviously, for being big spinners or big turners of the ball. So I'm not sure what I'm trying to do with that when they're trying to play it off the front foot. But this is a good total we've got on the board so far. Ross Taylor is doing a very good job just keeping the score running, the score ticking over. Keeping it running, keeping it ticking over. And at the moment, we're not really doing our part. 18 off 15. I mean, we're going along nicely, but we'll be looking to get somewhere. I think around 170 would be pretty good here. And at the moment, there's just nothing really for us. We go and try and... Please don't give that out, LBW. Umpire, what are you doing? That came off my glove. Review that. I'm going to challenge that. I'm pretty sure that came off my glove. It can't have. Oh my god, it might be out. Nah, it's going to miss. Oh, umpire's call. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, that is rough. That is less than half the ball that is hitting. Had the original decision been not out, it would have stayed as that. You can't overturn it with the umpire's call out there. So a bit unlucky, but 18 off 16 for us, which is pretty good. Couple of boundaries in there, but just got bogged down a little bit in the middle. And we're hoping to go and obviously contribute with the ball as well. We are on this side as an all-rounder. And now that we're in, I guess, to the second half of this game, we can talk about the second semi-final, which was this morning, West Indies versus India. And it was a pretty good job, I must say, by the West Indians, chasing down 190. Virat Kohli, I mean, the man's just a freak. He scored 89 again, I think, off 47. You know, the vein of form that this kid is in is just absolutely incredible. I think I read a stat before this game in World T20s. I don't know if it's in World T20s just in general or what it was, but his average was about 200. I think his average in World T20 tournaments is about 252. Now, mind you, that was before the game this morning where he scored 89 not out again. So that's going to just boost that up even more. So that is absolutely incredible. But yeah, the Indians, the Indians couldn't get across the line. The West Indies, I think, won it with, I think, 2 balls left to spare. And that was thanks to Lendl Simmons playing his first game of the tournament. I'm not too sure who he was playing for, but came in. I think he batted at number 5 and ended up scoring, I think, about 70-odd to take the West Indies to victory. It was a very high-scoring game and not many wickets were taken. I think across the 39.4 overs, I think there was only 5 wickets that were taken in total. So a big talking point was Manish Pandey, who obviously has come in for the injured Yuvraj Singh. He didn't get a bat, so didn't really get that opportunity. And yeah, again, I think it was just the Indians lost 2 wickets, and I think West Indies lost 3. I think, no, maybe Simmons came in at, I can't remember when Simmons came in. He came in at 4 or 5, and then Andre Russell came in, and both of them really steered them home to victory in the end. So, well done to the West Indies. Obviously, a side leading into this were a little bit of the underdogs, I guess you would say. But when it comes to West Indies, like T20 cricket, it's pretty much designed for them. Like, just, I guess, the players that they have so many match winners in their side. And you think of their side, and it is also missing Pollard because of injury. It's missing Narine because, obviously, his action's a little bit suspicious. So you take out those 2 guys who are 2 big match players as well. And then there's also Darren Bravo, a very good batsman, who is obviously out of the tournament because he is focusing on his test match batting. So you think if you bring those guys into the side, how strong this West Indies team would be. I mean, they're already very strong when you look at it. There's not really much that could go wrong. West Indies have always had very, very strong all-rounders, and that is the case in this tournament as well. When you look at the likes of Pollard, who's missing out, a guy who I've mentioned already. You got Darren Sammy, who's a very good, very experienced T20 player as well, especially in the Indian part of the world. Chris Gale can bowl a little bit. I wouldn't really class him in the pure all-rounder mould. More of a batting guy who does roll the arm over with the occasional bit of spin every now and again. Jason Holder, who I'm not sure if he has been playing. I haven't really been following the West Indies too much throughout this tournament. And then you've got Andre Russell, who we all know what he can do. Especially to, I guess, people down in the Southern Hemisphere. Obviously, he played a huge and vital role in the Sydney Thunder's title chase, I guess, in the Big Bash League last season. So we all know what he can do. He's a very, very dangerous player. And I think that's just the West Indies in general. Like, they just have those match winners. Bravo's another one. Dwayne Bravo. Samuel Badri, I think, is the #1 T20 bowler in the world. So, I mean, there is... West Indies is just one of those sides that you always kind of write off on paper because they never seem to have things going right behind the scenes. Like, I think before this tournament, there were pay disputes and all that stuff, and they were threatening to not send, you know, a full-strength side, and there wasn't going to be a full-strength side, and then they've gone and got there, and now they're obviously into the final. And they are just one of those sides that you kind of underestimate a little bit on paper. They've got a lot of match winners in their side, as I have gone on numerous times about. But they can just win a game from nowhere. And Lendl Simmons is another one, the guy playing his first game of the tournament. Again, has plenty of experience playing in foreign conditions. He's a T20 specialist, does travel around the world, played in the Big Bash for the Brisbane Heat, and he has played in the IPL as well. I think it was maybe last season or the season before, he hit 100 for Mumbai. Mumbai is where they played this morning, and that is obviously his IPL home ground. So he's familiar with the surroundings. So that would have gone and helped as well. But what hasn't helped really today for us is the wickets. And then we go and pick up one just like that. So we'll definitely go and take that. Masood gone, and they're going along quite nicely here, Pakistan. 2, I think, now for 71 off of 9 overs. So there is plenty going on. Another thing that I think, I'm not sure if this is confirmed. I did see a wee article about it. But Pakistan cricket is starting to go in a bit of a bad way. I think their coach has resigned. I think Afridi has retired. I think that was confirmed a little bit before the World Cup, or at least on the last game of the World Cup, that he would be retiring after this tournament. I think Shahzad and Umar Akmal have been suspended for 2 years because of bad behaviour or attitude problems or something like that. So things not looking good for Pakistan. But again, Pakistan, for me, are in a similar kind of situation to West Indies. Like Pakistan, when I looked at their lineup before the World T20, I was like, well, this is a team that you're going to have to watch out for. They could cause a few surprises. And that, I guess, is just what Pakistan, it's what they're all about. They're one of those sides that it really depends on who turns up on the day. Again, they have a lot of match winners in their side that can go and win your games in the blink of an eye, but they can also be very inconsistent, and I think that's what happened obviously in the tournament that has just been. They lost, I think they lost by about 50 to New Zealand. No, they didn't lose by 50 to New Zealand. They won their first game by 50, and then I think they lost to New Zealand by about 20. Sorry, I'm still a little bit sick. But 50 for Hafiz. We've gone and bowled through our 4 overs. And Wags has come in. Wags and Bolt towards the end have really gone and just cleaned up this Pakistani side. We win by 18 runs. Ross Taylor, man of the match, 65 not out off 33 deliveries. And anyway, guys, going to wrap things up here. Do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to leave a like. If you are new, please do subscribe. Make sure you check out my Facebook and Twitter. Links that can be found down below in the description. Hope you're having a good weekend. Probably better than mine. I'm still sick, all blocked up, as you can probably tell. Going to have a rest up this weekend and hopefully get better by the start of next week. But I do hope you do have a good weekend. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. I've got Cricket Coach 2014 New Zealand Reborn coming your guys' way. Make sure you do not miss that.